Today I'm going to create the northern lights in my art. To start, I'm going to use a stencil. I'm laying it across my paper, and then I'm just putting my chalk on its side, and I'm going to smear the chalk above that stencil. I don't want to go below. I want a nice crisp line on the bottom, and I want it to fade away. I can put my stencil at angles. So I'm switching colors, and now I'm going to trace that stencil with my chalk on the side. And keeping the stencil down on the paper, I'm going to smear it up. This creates an effect where I have one clean line and one smudged line, and it looks just perfect for the northern lights. I think I'll put a blue one right here, and it's okay if they overlap a little. That's not a big deal. And maybe one more, I think, going at a bit of another angle. And I think a bluish green or a light blue will do well. And smearing above. Okay, now this is really my last one. I think I just need one more here. Placing it at the opposite angle and tracing with this pretty yellow here. Now my stencil kind of came loose, so I'm going to smear it, just trying to make sure that I smear up, not down. Now my hands are dirty. If this were me doing my real project, I'd take the time to go wash my hands. But since it's not, I'll just keep working. I'm using a ripped piece of paper to make a snowy line across the bottom. I'm going to flip that over to the back, add some glue, and line it up to the bottom of my paper. Now I'm going to add some snow, and I'm going to use splatter paint techniques to do so. I'm dipping my brush in white paint, and I'm going to hold it parallel to my paper and tap it with my other hand. You're going to notice that I'm never flicking my brush or flinging it. It's actually a really controlled motion where I'm tapping with one hand and holding with the other. The next thing I'm going to do is use similar techniques to those we did when we created our blueprints to make trees. I have different sizes of cardboard for you, and you're going to pick whichever one you'd like to start with for the trunk of a tree, and you're going to stamp a line. Then you're going to choose between horizontal or diagonal lines for your tree. This one here, I'm doing horizontal lines that intersect the trunk of the tree. For my next one, I'm going to use diagonal lines in kind of a V formation. Sometimes I like to drag it if I want smaller lines, like here. I want little lines, but mine is a bit too big. So I kind of just use the edge of it and drag it along. There we go, a nice snowy pine tree. I'm going to add pine trees all across the paper. So I think I'll make another one that uses those horizontal lines that run parallel to the trunk. I used the other side of the cardboard to get a little bit of a different effect here. Now I'm doing that same V tree, but I think I want it to be even taller, so I've stamped it twice. I'm dragging to get a shorter line. Now I have a beautiful piece of art. Good work.